Let's talk, of course, about the second Manchester City goal. I think this is a topic of hot debate. So anyone that missed it, Man City's second goal, Nathan Ake scored it, right? It was a corner whipped in by Phil Foden on the stroke of halftime. He heads it. Akanji is in offside position. It's clear as day offside, at least half a yard offside. Offside position. He jumps over the ball. The ball goes into the back of net. This is a stroke of halftime. The goal counts for now, then goes to VAR. Everyone is expecting to be ruled offside. Even Mike Dean in the Sky Sports studio is saying, no worries, it's going to get ruled offside. He's interfering with play. But the goal stands. How can this run? This is, look, I'm obviously not going to say corrupt officiating, but you got to sit there and go, where's the consistency? This is inept officiating. That's how I would class it. Now, some might say, oh, but he didn't block Leno's eye line. He didn't block Leno's eye line. I don't think he did. Akanji was not in the way of Leno. He saw the shot all the way. The problem is there's plenty of angles from behind the goal where Ake's headed it. Akanji is standing in an offside position. The ball is going in the path of Akanji. Akanji has to jump out of the way to miss the football. Leno has stuttered and basically not committed all the way in case Akanji taps it across him and the ball goes the other side. Leno's looking at Ake's header in the ball. He doesn't know that Akanji's offside. He can't account for Manuel Akanji being offside. All he can account for is the ball going towards Akanji and waiting to see if Akanji redirects the ball somewhere else. There's plenty of angles from behind the goal where Ake heads it. Akanji's there. Leno stops for a second, literally for a split second, stops to see if Akanji touches it or not. Akanji obviously dummies it, lets the ball through his legs, and then by that time, Leno can't get across the ball and stop the ball from going into the back of the net. That's how it is. And it counts the goal for no reason. There is no way on this planet that should be a goal in my eyes. Absolutely no way. Like inept officiating. Once again, officials do not know what they're doing in the Premier League. And it's clear as day because in the Sky Sports studio, they've got Mike Dean, who was a former referee, right? Only retired last season. And he's in there. He's in that studio saying, you know what? It's not a goal. I don't think that's a goal. Michael Dawson, a former defender who was commentating on the game in Sky Sports, goes, yeah, it's not a goal either. Both of them saying it's not a goal, but on the field, it's given as a goal. Mike Oliver gives it as a goal, and VAR there gives it as a goal. So the referees themselves can't agree. That, for me, was the most clear and obvious offside you'll ever see in the whole wide world. And it's just another case of inept officiating once again in the Premier League. And this is the thing that really irritates me, right? Because when VAR got introduced into the Premier League, we all thought it'd be the end of talking about referees, talking about awful decisions, and we can actually start focusing on football again. But it's been the complete opposite. There's been more and more discussions about decisions and about officiating since VAR has been introduced. Because VAR isn't the problem, guys. A lot of people say, oh, VAR this, VAR that, this is the problem. VAR isn't a problem. VAR is technology. Technology is not wrong. It is maths. It is objectively true or false. It is black or white. It is ones and zeros. There's nothing wrong with the technology. What the technology has done, what VAR is doing right now and has been doing for the past couple of seasons is exposing how bad the referees are. Because in the past, referees could make a bad mistake, but you'll just say, oh, it's one of those things where they didn't quite see it. The angle they looked at it was a bit wrong. So you gave them a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. Now with video assistant refereeing, the technology behind it, they can get as many angles as they want. They can take as much time as they want. If they want it slow, if they want it fast, they've got all the angles. It's on a plate for them to make the decision, and they still make the wrong decision. For me, that's not allowed. That should not be the case. You saw them mess up a few weeks ago when during the Manchester United and Wolves match, first game of the season was a blatant penalty for Wolves, not given when Onana took out the defender. Now, once again, another mess up. Referees making mistakes week in, week out. And all that happens is they get obviously banned for the week after. A little slap on the wrist. When are they going to start actually importing referees from other countries? When are they going to start stand up and saying this refereeing is not good enough in this country? For the best league in the world, the best managers, the best players, the most competitive league in the world, everyone comes to watch the Premier League. It's got the most viewing numbers out of any football league in the world. But the refereeing is not up to scratch. It's not up to par. There's no other league in the world where referees are talked about as much as the Premier League. Now, look, I know Man City won this game 5-1, and many will say that it did not change the outcome of this match. It was only 2-1 at that stage. Fair. Man City will probably still going to go on to win this football match. But don't give them any more of an incentive to do so, man. Don't give them any more of a free sample, a leg up in doing so. Let Man City earn their 3 points here today, because I thought Man City in that first half were terrible. By their standards, absolutely horrible. Obviously, they were going in 1-1, and 1-1 wouldn't have been terrible for them. They still had 45 minutes to turn it around. And by the way, Man City were much better in that second half. But everyone knows scoring just before halftime is a game changer. Scoring just before halftime, it reshapes everything around the team. Everyone, of course, gets a reset. It changes the manager conversations in the dressing room at halftime. So you always want to score before halftime. It's always a good time to score. And I feel like, to be honest, that Man City, when they made it 2 at halftime, it knocked the stuffing out of Fulham because they knew themselves it was a bad decision. Probably Man City knew themselves as well it was a bad decision. But then by then, the complexion of the match changed. Fulham's heads were gone, and Man City went on to win that game 5-1. Haaland scored a hat-trick, convincingly so. They go back to the top of the Premier League, the only team in the Premier League with a flawless run, 4 wins out of 4 to start the season.